The three things doctors know actually work against dementia after 70 are not secrets. Most seniors just never get told exactly how to do them. If you have been walking, staying social, keeping your mind active, and still worry it is not enough, this is specifically for that. Most people doing everything they have been told are still carrying a quiet fear in the back of their mind. Not panic, something quieter. A moment where you walk into a room and forget why you came, and instead of laughing it off, something cold passes through you. You think, is this how it starts? Here is what most videos on this topic do not tell you. The broad advice, stay active, stay connected, keep learning, is correct. But correct and complete are two different things. There is a meaningful gap between knowing the categories and knowing exactly what to do tonight. What I found is that 3 specific actions sit inside those broad categories, and most people doing everything right are still missing all 3. Not because they are not trying, because no one has given them the exact threshold, the exact timing, or the exact form. That gap closes here. Your brain does not stay clean on its own. Think of it like a kitchen sink that only drains properly when the water runs at the right pressure for long enough. During deep sleep, your brain's built-in waste-clearing system, a network of fluid channels, flushes out proteins associated with Alzheimer's and mental decline. The sink only drains when the water runs, but if you wake repeatedly, sleep lightly, or keep a screen in the room, the drain runs too slowly. After 70, this matters more, not less. That waste-clearing flow is naturally reduced with age. The brain's own maintenance window gets shorter. The margin for poor sleep quality shrinks. What was manageable at 50 becomes consequential at 75. Now here is the second mechanism. Your brain is a prediction machine. It builds and rebuilds its own structure in response to challenge. Think of a muscle that only strengthens when it is asked to do something it cannot do effortlessly. When you do something genuinely unfamiliar, not just pleasant, but requiring active effort, your brain produces BDNF, a growth signal for brain cells. The critical finding: passive engagement does not produce it reliably. Effort does. The third mechanism is social, but not in the way most people assume. It is not about mood, it is about mental demand. Conversation, real, in-person, or live conversation, requires your brain to simultaneously track language, intention, tone, memory, and response. It is one of the most energy-demanding things your brain does. That demand is protective, but the research shows the threshold matters. Not occasional contact, not a text thread, a minimum frequency that most people do not know. Here's what this video delivers that I have not seen another video on this topic actually give you. Not the categories, the specific numbers, the specific actions, the specific timing. 3 things you can do starting tonight. 0 cost, 0 equipment, 0 prescription required. Here is what the research confirms. Poor sleep quality, not just short sleep, is linked to a 15% lower risk of dementia when addressed. 2 real social contacts per week, not occasional connection, cuts the risk of early memory decline by nearly half. And effortful cognitive training, the kind that actually frustrates you, produces a measurable increase in your brain's own growth signal after 5 weeks. Physical exercise alone does not do that. The type of effort matters. 45% of dementia cases come from risk factors you can change. Sleep, social engagement, and active mental challenge are among them. Changeable by you, without a prescription. One more finding worth knowing. Daily fermented foods were linked to lower dementia risk across 29 studies. Your gut and your brain are connected more directly than most people realize. Yogurt, kimchi, kefir, small daily amounts. Worth adding if you are not already. Here are the 3 things: specific, actionable, starting tonight. 1. Sleep quality, not just sleep length. The phone leaves the bedroom tonight. Not on silent. Out of the room. The blue light and the low-grade alertness it maintains compress your deep sleep stages, which is exactly when that waste-clearing process peaks. Consistent sleep and wake times, same within 30 minutes, 7 days a week, matter more than total hours for the quality of your deep sleep. And if you're lying awake with your mind running, try this. Inhale for 4 counts. Exhale for 8. A longer exhale than inhale tells your nervous system the threat is over. Your body shifts into rest mode. 4 in, 8 out. 3 cycles. It works. If your doctor asks what you are doing for sleep quality, the exact words are, "I've been working on sleep hygiene, phone out of the bedroom, consistent schedule, and a 4-8 breathing pattern at bedtime. Is there anything else specific to my situation you'd recommend?" 2. Social contact, 2 or more times per week. Not group messages, not passive scrolling through someone's photos. A phone call, a video call, an in-person visit. Something that requires your brain to track language, respond in real time, and hold another person's attention. The threshold from that research is 2 times per week. If you are currently below that, the question to bring to your doctor is, "The research I've seen suggests 2 or more live social contacts per week is protective. Is that consistent with what you'd recommend for my situation?" 3. Cognitive training, 35 minutes, 5 days a week. This is not crossword puzzles done on autopilot. That is familiarity, not challenge. That brain growth signal comes from genuine effort, something your brain cannot do easily. Learning a new piece of music, reading something aloud that you would not normally read, working through a logic puzzle that actually frustrates you slightly. Learning words in a language you do not speak. The friction is the signal. 35 minutes, 5 days a week, 5 weeks to a measurable change in that brain growth signal. If you want to raise this with your doctor, I've read that effortful cognitive training, not just routine mental activity, raises that brain growth signal differently than physical exercise does. What type of mental engagement would you recommend adding to what I'm already doing? Those are the 3 specific actions. 2 of them start tonight. The 3rd starts tomorrow. I want to tell you about Joyce. Joyce is 73. She came in not with a diagnosis, but with that quiet fear. The room entry forgetting, the word that would not come, the cold moment of wondering. She had been walking 4 days a week for 2 years. She had a weekly dinner with her sister. She did the daily puzzle in the newspaper every morning before coffee. What Joyce did not have was the specific version of any of those things. Her phone was on her nightstand. Her sister dinner was once a week, and they sometimes texted instead when one of them was tired. Her puzzle took her 8 minutes because she had done it for so long it required almost no effort. We made 3 changes. Phone to the kitchen at night. A second weekly call added, her daughter on Thursdays. And the newspaper puzzle was replaced with something she actively resisted, a beginner Spanish workbook. 6 weeks later, Joyce described something she had not expected. Not a metric. A feeling. She said waking up in the morning felt less like bracing. She was not reaching for the wall when she stood up. That was a different conversation. But something in the first hour of the day had changed. Less static. She said her thinking felt more like a room with better light in it. I want to be honest with you. 6 weeks is a meaningful start, not a conclusion. Sleep quality changes take consistent time to accumulate. The brain growth signal findings came from 5 weeks of sustained training. Social contact protection is cumulative. Joyce is still at it. The named limitation is this. None of these actions are one-time interventions. They are habits that compound. And the research is clear that the compounding is real. Before I show you the final piece, where are you watching from and how old are you? Tell me in the comments. I read them, and I want to know who is in this conversation. You are someone who knows that protecting your brain does not require a doctor's appointment. It requires 3 specific things you can start tonight. The fear that brought you to this video was useful. It brought you here, but fear without a specific action to take just sits in the body. Now you have the action. Phone out of the bedroom. 2 real conversations this week. 35 minutes of something that genuinely challenges you. Tonight, the exhale is longer than the inhale. 4 counts in, 8 counts out. Somewhere in the quiet that follows, your brain begins the work it does best when you let it. If someone you love has been watching dementia videos and walking away scared but not sure what to do, share this with them today. The next video covers what happens during those 35 minutes and why the challenge type matters. Subscribe, and I will see you there. This is general health information. Nothing in this video is medical advice. For your own case, have an informed conversation with your own physician who knows your full history.